Yeah, Steve and Natasha, residents I spoke to here, they didn't know the victim, but they do know who Remy Ma is, and they're telling us that they hope her celebrity doesn't play into this case.
The police are still investigating the motive behind the shooting, though it was initially believed that a dispute may have led to the violence.
Cameras burst to life outside the Queen's Courthouse as Remy Ma stepped onto the stone steps. Chin high, breathing steady. The once celebrated Queen now wore the title of defendant, all in the span of a single whirlwind afternoon. The crowd surged, elbows clashing for a clear shot, sirens echoing in the background, while livestream notifications pinged. Non-stop solid proof that someone once seen as untouchable now walked flanked by officers visibly irritated by the surrounding circus. The charges slithered across social media like a gas leak: assault, obstruction, possible witness tampering, with whispers of a 20-year sentence looming before her son's homicide trial had even reached cruising altitude. Just past the barricades stood Jasmine Dior, daughter of the slain Darius Gillibow, hand raised with her phone live, broadcasting grief unfiltered to a digital crowd eager for outrage. She screamed accusations, arrogance, cold-heartedness into the noise, while Remy hurled back a single line that cracked the internet wide open. "Come on, beat me up." Was it
matter if you're a celebrity or not? If you commit a crime, you're supposed to be paid for the crime you committed.
It could be anybody. It doesn't matter. You know.
Sarcasm, defiance, collapse. The crowd hesitated, some cheered, others cringed. But by sunset, the clip was everywhere, memed, remixed, By sunrise, brands were already holding meetings about whether to distance themselves. Inside that courthouse earlier, the tension had already thickened like smoke around the arraignment of 23-year-old Jason Scott. Prosecutors stood stone-faced as they laid out a 7-count indictment: first and second-degree murder, reckless endangerment, and 4 weapons charges, all of it delivered with the kind of precision that makes a room go silent. What made it louder, ironically, was what everyone thought they knew: that a surveillance camera allegedly caught Jason pulling the trigger again even after his target had already collapsed. The details hit like body blows. Investigators dropped breadcrumbs about phone pings placing Jason and co-defendant Richard Swigert within arm's reach of the crime scene.
Like your mother's ugly? Like your mother's ugly? Oh,
same thing.
Oh, okay.
Same thing.
Oh, okay.
Just watch.
Yeah, okay. We could test her right now. Right now. Right now, ugly. Everything. Oh, you thought you was gonna see something ugly, bitch. You wasn't. But you wasn't. But you wasn't. But you wasn't. Same here. You see what's up? Same here. You see what's up?
Just minutes before the gunfire. As for motive, the DA's ledger whispered about Queen's street politics, an alleged turf clash, and a mastermind still operating in shadow. Sources say detectives are now tailing money transfers that cut through shell LLCs and crypto wallets like ghost trails. One flagged transfer, $87,000, reportedly triggered the knock on Jason's apartment door. Now there's chatter that the DA wants to know if that hush money might have originated from a studio account tied to Remy Ma's own business manager. Back on the courthouse steps, tension flared again as Jasmine confronted Remy once more, this time shouting that the rapper's tough act was just that, an act, daring her to fight around the corner. As police edged in, Remy's eyes locked onto Jasmine with the same laser focus that once melted rivals in rap battles. Witnesses swear her lip curled when Jasmine threw out, "You can still see your son." In the grainy clip that followed, Jasmine, raw, broken, cried out, "You would have thought I did something to you." Her voice cracked with disbelief, and just moments later, handcuffs appeared. Some onlookers say Jasmine was arrested. Others insist it was a quick detainment just to cool things off. Either way, those metal cuffs told a story more powerful than any PR statement. And just like that, things got messy, and were only getting messier. The spectacle fueled deeper speculation about what Remy might have done behind closed doors to shield her son. Court whispers point to sealed filings that hint at suspicious financial activity. A veteran clerk muttered about 5-figure cash withdrawals linked to an account previously used for touring expenses. A retired FBI consultant, now working with a white shoe law firm, even floated the theory that secret payouts may have helped nudge witnesses out of state. Nothing's been proven publicly. Still, just the suggestion taints jury pools and fuels talk show debates. Defense attorneys argue the paper trail only reflects a desperate mother trying to save her son selling jewelry, covering legal fees, hiring forensic teams to challenge the timeline. But behind that legal narrative, personal cracks keep widening. Papoose, once a ride-or-die husband who reproposed the day Remy walked free in 2014, now confides in friends that mounting legal bills are draining their daughter's college fund. And it's not just about money. In backstage corners of Remy's Chrome 23 League, rumors run wild that she's gotten far too close to Protégé, the block captain. A grainy paparazzi shot caught them slipping into a diner at 2 a.m. after a headline event. Later, at a battle, Easy paused mid-round and asked, "Don't you love me?" To which Remy's effortless yes echoed through the venue like a cannon. That clip spiraled. Pap allegedly confronted Easy behind the stage curtain, and depending on who you ask, it ended in a KO or a rumor-stretched shove. Remy denies anything physical went down, but fan forums are flooded with eyewitness contradictions. Then comes Clarissa Shields, two-time Olympic champion, who only adds more chaos to the personal saga. Leaked texts show her scolding Pap for not checking in after their private meets. She claps back online, saying, "How a woman with 2 boyfriends mad at a man who has a girlfriend." Subtweets, screenshots, and stream shade pile higher than the court filings, painting a love triangle turned minefield. Remy accuses Pap of conspiring with Clarissa to get her arrested during a domestic spat that interrupted their pool remodel. Pap denies it. Fans prepare for another digital war. But prosecutors keep their eyes on the bigger case, the murder of Darius Gillib. They argue Jason and Swigert weren't just gunmen, they were hired muscle sent to erase a player in a supply chain stretching from Queens to upstate. They've got burner phone logs, traffic cam footage of a rented car circling the block, and encrypted messages found on Swigert's seized phone that read, "Done deal, easy payout." Defense lawyers say it's about an underground dice game, not a hit. It'll be up to the jury to decide what version they believe. But every new leak tightens the public noose. Remy and Papoose were once black love goals. He held her down for 6 years while she was locked up. She had nothing and he gave her everything. But now, her previous stint in prison hangs over the narrative like a storm cloud. She came out preaching redemption, second chances, glowing on talk shows, flipping her story into a triumph. But critics now ask if all those hard-earned lessons disappeared when family loyalty ran into street logic. Supporters say Remy's grit is why she survived again, that her family-first mindset is what made her a legend. But timelines are divided. Even studio green rooms are tense, with artists unsure if they should stand by her or step back until the dust settles. Meanwhile, that confrontation with Jasmine still festers. Why did Remy step up instead of slipping out a side door? Did a single glare spark the moment? Was it Jasmine's phone in her face, or Remy's need to show unshakable support for her son? On daytime TV, body language analysts rewind footage frame by frame. One former hostage negotiator says her posture screamed controlled rage. A trauma psychologist says both women were exhibiting layers of grief. And Jasmine, she posts a photo of her father's Navy cap beside a candle with the caption, "Still waiting for real remorse." The drama didn't stop at the courthouse steps. What began as a confrontation between Remy Ma and the daughter of her son's alleged victim is now spiraling into something much bigger, potential witness tampering investigation. Legal experts are watching closely. If prosecutors uncover unexplained bank transfers linked to Remy, they could use that as consciousness of guilt, portraying her not just as a grieving mother, but the mastermind of a cover-up. Remy's lawyers would counter with a different story, that the money trails are nothing more than tour payouts and charitable donations, easily confused with hush payments. But it only takes one witness to admit they were paid to disappear and everything unravels. Not just for Remy, but for Jason's entire defense. Whispers of a plea deal float through the courtroom. Might co-defendant Swigert flip for a lighter sentence? Could Jason take manslaughter to avoid life without parole? Remy reportedly refuses to even consider it, insisting this is a case of mistaken identity, and she won't let her son take the fall. Meanwhile, life moves on, even if it's under a microscope. Chrome 23 battles continue. Ticket sales spike anytime Remy might appear. Fans show up hoping to catch unscripted drama. Critics call it exploitation. Sponsors tread lightly. One major sportswear brand froze a mid-six-figure contract after the courthouse altercation, but then quietly sent gear to Remy's next event after ratings surged. That's the contradiction of modern fame. The machine condemns the spectacle, then profits from it, and then there's the Remy Papoose Clarissa triangle, still smoldering. Accusations are flying. New rumors connect a secret Delaware LLC to suspicious payments. A blogger cross-referenced corporate filings with discovery timelines and found a P.O. box linked to a notorious off-the-books accountant. Prosecutors haven't confirmed any of it, but the intrigue fuels online obsession. If the money trails back to Remy, the DA could claim it was hush money disguised as forensic consulting fees. If it leads elsewhere, their whole witness tampering theory could collapse. For now, speculation alone is doing the damage of any smoking gun. Jasmine Dior, the victim's daughter, shows no sign of fading into the background. She's there at every hearing, often wearing her late father's Navy ring on a chain, standing just feet behind Remy but emotionally miles apart. She reminds the world of one painful truth. Remy might still get to see her son, again through plexiglass or free air, but Jasmine will never get another moment with her father. That contrast resonates. It turns silent watchers into loud supporters. For a maximum sentence, Remy's defenders respond with a different image of her hugging Jason as he's led away by officers. A mother refusing to give up. Fat Joe, a longtime friend and mentor, tweets cryptic warnings about speaking too soon. French Montana quietly delays their new collab track, but insists it's just timing. Smaller artists, sensing opportunity, flood Remy's DM offering cheap features, hoping controversy can catapult their careers. Everyone plays a role when chaos is currency. Then, another bombshell drops. A sealed motion leaks. Prosecutors want to introduce Remy's 2007 nightclub case as prior bad act evidence, claiming it shows a pattern of violence. Her lawyers call it character assassination. A hearing is scheduled. Cameras are ready. If the judge says yes, jurors will hear how. This isn't the first time Remy's faced weapon-related charges. If the judge says no, they'll still be staring down the deadly events of June 7, 2021. Behind all this, the financial cracks deepen. Rumors swirled that Papoose stopped paying a mortgage on one of his rental properties, maybe bracing for asset freezes. Remy's camp says she sold a vintage stage wardrobe for $72,000 to cover court costs and family support. Pap's Circle claims he paid for that wardrobe and never saw the money. What was once private is now public, dissected like evidence. Even the streaming world is watching. Studios are allegedly circling a docuseries deal. Hop's fallen, power couple told through a lens of true crime and raw confessional. And Jasmine, she's already been offered a lead role in a victim impact documentary. So far, she says no, I want justice, not fame. But grief has a way of changing minds. And producers are waiting. Friends are picking sides, and the fallout is measurable. Eazy's battle rap booking fees doubled overnight after rumors of his romance with Remy caught fire. Meanwhile, Papoose quietly backed out of 3 appearances, his silence louder than any diss track. Comment sections have turned into war zones, with threats flying from loyalists of both camps. But none of that matters to the lab techs analyzing gunshot residue or the paralegals matching cell tower pings. The legal machine doesn't care about hashtags, it just runs cold and relentless. Still, prosecutors know public narrative can flavor plea negotiations. And now, the trial strategy is starting to take shape. The DA plans to portray Jason as a hired gun. They'll present a phone ping from Rockaway Boulevard, match the bullet casings to Swiggert's illegally purchased weapon, and maybe even roll out a surprise informant who claims to know exactly how much was paid for the job. Jasmine's grief will be replayed on surveillance footage, her tears now part of the prosecution's opening act. The defense will fight back by poking holes in chain of custody, challenging witness angles, and offering an alibi based on murky time. They'll suggest the investigation was tainted by viral headlines. And if Remy's bank records come into play, they'll argue that charity has been twisted into conspiracy. And through it all, the biggest question looms. Did Remy entrepreneur, fierce matriarch risk it all to protect her son? Or is she a casualty of his choices, targeted by enemies feeding on chaos? Her fans remember the comeback queen, the woman who championed second chances, who rode for her family no matter the cost. Her critics point to the gun case in her past, the defiant smirk on courthouse steps, the glammed-up Instagram posts as Jasmine sobbed just feet away. We hear whispers of a sealed forensic audit that could expose whether those flagged wire transfers were hush money, or just the misunderstood finances of a busy artist. And what about the co-defendant's rumored plea deal? It could turn into explosive testimony that either seals Jason's fate or blows holes in the timeline. Then there's Papoose, threatening divorce behind the scenes. If prosecutors think that unraveling marriage paints a picture of desperation, they'll weaponize it. And if Clarissa Shields or Easy the block captain gets subpoenaed, the courtroom might as well turn into a BET Awards afterparty with the Queens County Clerk presiding. Outside the courthouse, cameras flash faster than bailiffs can escort Remy out. One minute, she's a heartbroken mother adjusting her headscarf. The next, she's a fire-eyed legend, lashing out at a grieving daughter. Clip after clip reshapes her image, but no video, no tweet, no grainy screenshot can answer the question that matters most. What really happened that day in 2021? And what really happened last month on those courthouse steps? The facts sit sealed, while rumors sprint ahead unchecked. And so, here we are at the edge of the storm. A rap icon staring down 20 years, a son clinging to freedom, a daughter demanding justice, a marriage cracking in real time. This trial could transform Remy Ma into a symbol of motherly devotion that defied a broken system or mark her downfall. As another tragic headline where love became a liability. Redemption, or ruin, that choice lies in the hands of 12 strangers. All we can do is watch and wait. So take one last look. A queen in cuffs, a family feud on fire, a murder case with tentacles deep in backdoor bank accounts. This story, it's just clearing its throat. Will secret payments torpedo Remy's defense? Or will a surprise witness break the prosecution's entire theory? Wide open, you tell us. Drop your take in the comments. And until the gavel falls for good, breathe deep, hug your people, and stay ready. Good night, Thrill Seekers.